you have to experience the forgiveness where here. You can't just do it from a headspace, because you cannot get it from a headspace. It doesn't work with should not. And so she found actually that Kundalini Yoga can help more than anything to bring them to that place in here. And thereby it becomes an authentic forgiveness. It becomes very, very real, instead of I have to do it because my job is dependent on it or something like that. And then that longing comes to want to continue that way of living. And I found that very insightful. And I think for all of us here too. And when I was in South Africa, I spent a lot of time just going through my files of people in my life that I haven't really come to reckon with, or healed with, or said, I'm sorry. No. Because we bring to the table, if it's a divorce, we bring to the table differences with children, relatives, workplace. We bring to the table what we're contributing. Because no one can be at you if you're not reciprocating the atness. But instead the surrendering, and sometimes it means saying, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I was in Wales this last spring, and I was with this beautiful woman who's a shaman, and she does healing. She rattles all this stuff, and again, she gets it all. She has a home in Kenya also. So she has an expression. Someone will come, they need a healing, they need a fixing, you might say. So she'll say, well, what are you going to do about that? Instead of, oh, my husband is this, well, what are you going to do about that? It's like, I didn't come to ask to find out what I'm going to do about that. Can't you help me figure out what I'm going to do with that guy or that situation? And so it kind of gives it's like a boomerang. It goes right back to you. So I was with a really dear friend, and she was needed to really connect with her sister. They had had a big falling out. And so I said, why don't you try this? Say, well, what are we going to do about that? And she did. And it opened up a whole new world. Instead of like the ping pong game, you, me, do. Okay, what are we going to do about this? And it opened up a whole new avenue. And I think that because communication is such a big part of Kundalini Yoga, is how we talk, the words we use, the words we choose to use. It's important, more important now than ever, ever, ever. Because the way telephone grows here, if you're emailing it, if you're Facebooking, it goes so fast. I was telling my dear friends that we're watching this movie called The Lady. And it's a story of, what's her name?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
Yeah, who's going to be president of Burma. And now she was kept in house arrest for a long, long time, right? Many, many years. And how when she was starting her awareness of nonviolence and of democracy, the word of mouth went in within a day, and she had 1 million people talking, so all gathering around her for to speak at this big public event. So you can see how word of mouth goes so fast, and sometimes it gets really messed up way back here when, no, I didn't mean this. How many times? No, I didn't really mean this. It's not what I said. So there is something that was emailed to me from Socrates, not from Socrates, about Socrates. And whether the story is true or not, who cares? But he said, a student came to him and they said, you know, Socrates, I have to tell you something about one of your students. Socrates says, okay. He says, is it true? And the other student says, well, I don't really know, I just heard it. He says, okay, there's 2 more things that we're going to have to consider. Is it, what was the second one? True. Is it, the third one was useful. oh no, second is it good? Is it good news about this student? And the other student says, not really. Says, okay, well you still may be okay. Let's go to the third one. Is it useful? And the other student says, not really. So I started using that a lot now. It's a good wager on anything that's said. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? And if it's not, what's the point? Just starting rumors again, just starting things again. And I can watch myself when a little something comes out, and it's like it kind of falls like a dead balloon now. It kind of is starting to make my stomach hurt. If I say things that are just, I don't know if they're true or not, I don't know if they're useful or not, I don't know if they're good or not. And you know someplace on a vibrational frequency it was really worth putting out. And so I think in South Africa I learned that everything will take a time to change consciousness, but it is happening now. Since December 21st, since we went into the Aquarian age, things first of all are speeding up. What did you say? Law of cause and effect is coming, ding, ding, ding. You get it, you put it out, you get it back like that. I think we have a lot of more saints and elders who have passed that are zooming in on us to help us. I think the division is becoming greater and greater of those who live in truth and those who don't. And I think we're starting to see such a difference that it's almost like drastic. They almost look like really old-fashioned. People that hold grudges and people who just gossip all the time and people who don't want to help other people and only want to win themselves and they don't care. They seem so weird. They seem kind of like dinosaurs, don't they? You start a conversation with them or you see them in line, you know, at the airport or something, and you just think, God, they're living in prehistoric days. They look so weird. But yet when I grew up, you know, 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, that was just totally normal. You never thought twice about it. You know, and I always go back to Mad Men, how that thing makes my stomach hurt because it reminds me of what I grew up in. But the last thing, and then we'll get started, is I was telling my friends at dinner tonight how we got hooked on this. You know, I know you guys get hooked on a TV series. I think even the most sacred people don't, and then I find out that they do. But, you know, usually it's the newsroom or something like that. So our friends in South Africa say, you've got to watch this new one. I said, okay, what is it? And it's Revenge. How many of you have seen it? It makes your stomach hurt. I mean, it takes place in your beautiful Hamptons, but it's totally based on revenge, which is so opposite. And at first you're kind of intrigued, like how they could be so involved in this revenge. And then after a while you say, oh, it's just, but it must be popular because it's been on 2 or 3 seasons. But revenge is opposite. And I'm sure most of you here aren't into that category yet, or will never be in that category. However, we need to finely tune and finely tune and finely tune. But they say that to be able to forgive, you first have to forgive yourself. And I think that's what the theme tonight is to just rather than forgive yourself. I don't even like that anymore. It's how about just enjoying yourself. That's why I actually wrote it's not my own copy, it's Yogi Bhajan said, just to enjoy. And don't we sometimes forget to enjoy? I know I do. You know, I'm packing or traveling and I get kind of like this, kind of like this, and that word enjoy kind of drops and I'm not enjoying it. And you have to almost condition your mind over and over to enjoy, to be in joy, unless it's just your nature all the time. And so if we could just enjoy. Okay, so it's easy to enjoy when everything's going good. But what about when you have to do something 7 minutes and you're not enjoying the sensations of your body? Then where do you go to? Where do you go to find still that joy? So that's what we're going to discover tonight.